My hair is wet because I just got out of the shower. Recently, I haven't really been balls deep into internet drama. It just hasn't really been that interesting. There hasn't been anything going on where it's like, holy shit, this is like unbelievable. And to be honest, what I'm about to talk about today isn't also like that crazy, but it's so like, it doesn't feel real. Honestly, I feel like if you went into ChatGPT and just said, please make up some internet drama to entertain me, this is what you'd get, because it's so like it just doesn't feel real. It's just so ridiculous. We literally have Gumball Watson versus Dream Was Taken. I mean, what is going on? Like, for starters, I don't even know why these two are hanging out together. It's a very weird combination. But yeah, essentially there has been some kind of crazy drama going on between these two, like out of this world, mind-blowing. Essentially, just for a little bit of context, these two are on a night out with someone else, and let's just say Cantu went a little bit like crazy, I suppose. Apparently people are saying that he was drunk and stuff like that, and you know, oh well, he's got all these problems, but there are also things that kind of contradict that. So we're just gonna break it all down today, really get balls deep into this drama and really break it down. So yeah, I'm just gonna start off by showing you guys the video of what I'm referring to here, just to really make sure that you guys understand what the topic is on. So yeah, let's get into the video.
Listen to somebody who has experience in life. If I'm putting you on game, right?
Yeah.
See, you still never mind.
Go.
No, I'm not going.
So you're asking why
I'm not going because you're manipulating. The same thing you say you not want to do or you went through, you're doing the exact same shit.
Okay, so starting the video off with a beautiful slur, and also just like this Uber driver being basically just abused by Cantu. I mean, the Uber driver is literally, he's trying to be a good guy here. He understands that, you know, maybe something's a little bit off with Cantu, and he's trying to help him out. He's literally trying to give him a little bit of game, and I think this is completely reasonable. It's literally just one genuine human trying to connect with a very far gone human, I suppose. But yeah, it only just gets worse on the video. So he started off by calling him not a very nice word, I suppose you could say, and yeah, it only really gets worse. So let's keep on going.
And you're using all these bullshit excuses of why you're still fucking up. So you're the type of person, you're gonna have to bump your fucking head for you to learn.
So I really want to know, like, on what the Uber driver just said there. That was fucking powerful, what he just said there. Talking about how Cantu's been using all these bullshit excuses and so on, how he's going to have to bump his head to really wake up. And I think this is actually true, because when you take someone and they are genuinely almost born into fame, they have about 9 years of their life before they become famous, I really do think it fucks them up quite a lot. I mean, like, Cantu was, like, he got very famous when he was young, because he was, you know, the voice actor of Gumball, who is obviously a child in the show, and he was a child at the time. But yeah, it really does fuck him up, and you can actually see this in the video. So yeah, let's keep on going.
So when somebody who is older than you,
I want to tell you right now, you are Australopithecus Cro-Magnon rock fucking stupid. You're retarded. You're fucking Down syndrome. I don't give a fuck. You do not understand that your literacy level needs to be brought up from the fucking Mariana Trench, and you have a fucking issue with your intelligence.
There you go. We just got Cantu just abusing this guy again, just chatting shit for almost no reason, because the guy is literally trying to be nice to him. He's giving him a harsh reality check, which is literally, it makes sense. It's not even that harsh. It's just the truth. He's been a genuine guy as well, and then Cantu's just, you know, fucking insulting him, talking about like the Mariana Trench or some shit like that. He's just a real piece of shit so far. So yeah, it's not looking good for him.
When the bites come, or the ants come at me, it'll take 10,000, 100,000 of them to take me down. So that's how minuscule you are to my size, right? My stature of intelligence, character, body, and reverence in the world.
Now, I do just want to talk about what he's just said there. What he's saying there, he sounds extremely mentally ill. He sounds exactly like someone who might have like bipolar or, you know, some sort of disorder where they do genuinely view themselves as something kind of like godlike, and they just don't really understand the concept of the world. And usually if they do have a mental illness, this isn't really their fault, you know? I mean, it doesn't change what they're saying. What they're saying is still completely wrong, but, you know, what he's saying here, he's not completely aware of, you know, what the kind of outcomes are and what he's really saying. Obviously, that should not be, you know, it shouldn't be an argument here. It shouldn't, you know, it's just an excuse at the end of the day. But yeah, I think, you know, what some people have been saying, which we will get into later, is very interesting to kind of quote onto this.
1K is better for this pussy who doesn't want to give away his millions. Are you Jewish? No, man, because I'm going to do movies, stand-up comedy, everything, all the shit. Music, whatever the fuck, e-commerce. You don't understand that you're talking to, like, a Michelangelo of my time. right? Like I'm a genius, Albert Einstein level history book maker. You're gonna be forgotten like the dust in the sand.
So there we go again, literally exactly what I was saying before, referring to himself as Michelangelo of his time. I mean, it is incredibly egotistical what he's saying. I mean, sure, you know, if he wants to go do music, e-commerce, everything else, sound comedy, that's great, go do that, man, go out in the world and do that. But it's the fact that he is literally viewing himself as a godlike being. I understand that sometimes people will do this in like sports and stuff to literally like feel like they have a kind of edge above their opponent. But this guy is literally just talking in general conversation, and what he's saying, you know, you can't kind of view it as, well, there's something clearly wrong with this guy. He's not okay.
When you're in the fucking Sahara and there's 100 million, 1,000 billion fucking sand particles, you're gonna be one of those, and I'm gonna be a statue erected in gold. So understand that.
A statue erected in gold. Yeah, I think this guy is definitely someone to be praising, definitely someone to be looking up to. I mean, don't get me wrong, maybe he's done some good things, but this video really is summing up who he is right now. I mean, sure, maybe he's drunk, maybe he's got some sort of disorders. I think he does actually talk about what he's got wrong with him later on, but they're all just excuses at the end of the day. I mean, if you want to be erected in gold, just don't be a piece of shit. It's simple stuff.
I am like this because ADHD, autism, neurodivergent.
I have ADHD as well.
Right, but because you said that's what the mask is, I think you're a faggot, all right? So that's why. You're really cool, Dream. I still want to fight you. And all of the shit that's happened tonight, it's not going to make it a fucking, like, brutal marauder. I'm not going to be a brutal marauder. I'm going to, like, literally, like, either you're going to be paralyzed or you're going to be dead. Like, I'm serious.
Okay, man.
There we go. That is just pure extreme level of insults. He calls Dream another slur, which is amazing. Good job, man. I'm really proud of you. You're really smart. You have huge intellects. And then he continues to tell Dream how he's gonna kill him in a street fight or paralyze him. I honestly don't think this guy has the ability to even throw a punch without accidentally falling over. I'd love to see him try. I honestly think, even though like Dream is some next level loser who literally is just like some incel that just sits at his PC all day just playing Minecraft, I still genuinely think there would be no chance. Like, this guy would literally have no chance against Dream. I'm sorry. Dream is like 6'2". I don't think he's that fat anymore, but he's definitely still got a good amount of weight on him. I don't even know why I'm going into fight here. It's not really relevant. But yeah, the video's almost finished up, so just try and stand out for this last little segment.
Can you fight?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Tyrell, I apologize.
Oh, no, I'm good. I know, and I'm sorry for
I met him tonight.
But yeah, you can end the video now. Thanks for watching. Cantu Network on all socials. Tune your sets.
So basically, as you just saw there, Cantu just continues to talk about how great he is and how much of an amazing fighter he is. And also, one important thing to reference that he says at the very end of the video, yeah, you can stop recording now, thank you. Or something like that. Now, this is important to know because a lot of people online are arguing for Cantu by saying, yeah, but he was filmed without his consent and he was blackout drunk and, you know, he couldn't defend himself here. He didn't know what he was doing. It's not his fault, you know, and all these excuses. And, you know, he's literally happily, you know, consented to the recording. He has literally asked the guy to film him and then also end the recording at the end. So that's completely out the window. And there's also a tweet which Cantu deleted where he states that, not going to speak out here till we figure out what the fuck dude is talking about. For now, he's lying. Wasn't drunk or high enough to remember doing something like that. Also, nothing I would do in a sober state either. So he is saying here that he wasn't drunk and he wasn't high, but he also wasn't in a sober state. So, I mean, you know, here he is literally saying that he wasn't drunk, so that argument is now also gone out the window. I understand here he does not appear to be, you know, as someone who is sober. He does not look and is acting like someone who is in a completely normal state. He just doesn't seem to be that kind of person, which, you know, it brings up the argument, which is completely understandable, but it doesn't change what he said at all. And I'm just going to keep on going through some things which Dream brought up because, you know, he's really spitting facts here. So Dream does actually give a little bit of context behind the video. It's a little bit better than what I said earlier. So let's just kind of go into this. So we start off by saying, this is after he physically assaulted me once and before he tried to again after the Uber ride. He dropped his phone out the Uber window and the Uber driver was telling him not to argue with the cops that stopped him from going across the highway at 4 a.m. So looks like Cantu is literally the biggest liability on the planet. Don't ever go out on a night out with him, no matter how much money or fame he has. Don't go out with him. He seems like a pain in the ass. He also just kind of adds, which I think is a bit irrelevant here, but he just says, so much more than this happened. Only 1/50th of the night was recorded, and there's other witnesses that want to say anonymous, so they are edited out of any video. So, I mean, he's just kind of saying here that this is just a small segment of how much of a pain in the ass Cantu is, and Cantu's response to this is actually painful. It's really, really painful to read. So, yeah, let's get into this. So Cantu just, you know, a kind of casual Cantu response. You wouldn't expect any more or any less from this, really. Yeah, so Cantu replies saying, yes, I slapbox you in front of those hoes. Yes, I was an asshole to the Uber driver. I was wasted and it wasn't cool, which is why I tipped him a lot of money and have been cutting back on drinking. Now, what he's saying here literally completely counteracts what he said earlier, where he said that he wasn't sober. Sorry, where he said that he was sober. He wasn't drunk or high or anything. He literally said that in a tweet and then took down the tweet. So, you know, what he's just said here is complete BS. And Dream also further elaborates on this by talking about the tip that Cantu talks about. So he says, also completely lied about tipping the guy. I tipped him $1,000 though because I felt terrible, which is, you know, £800 or something like that, which I think is fair enough. If you have that amount of money, you have that amount of fame, I think, yeah, you should be doing things like this, just because that guy probably went through about $1,000 of struggle right there. That must have been the most painful event, to have this guy who is sat right next to you, who won't get out of your ear. He keeps on talking about how great he is. I understand that this guy is not a normal human being, but either way, that is still a very painful thing to go through. And I think the Uber driver really did present a high amount of professionalism here, and really a high amount of God, what's the word? Patience. There you go, patience. He had a high amount of patience. Anyway, the rabbit hole really does get deeper here, so let's keep on going. So then someone called Robbo then decides to call out Dream, who is literally taking sides with Cantu here, and they said, hi, I was there. You called a girl I knew a whore and got slapped for it. What is wrong with you? Obviously, this might be true. We can't prove it, but Dream does give a response here by saying, you weren't even in the same state as me when it happened. Whole tweet is a lie. I don't even know who you are, and I don't go around randomly disrespecting women. The continuous trope of women are helpless people that need defending from men, from people like you, is insane. Not even the guy who assaulted me claimed that this happened, lol, and he said every lie he could. Now this guy replied to himself and said essentially, oh, it was a different party and he didn't get slapped for it, but it happened, I promise. Anything to win an argument on the internet. So yeah, Dream literally just fucking annihilation there. Pure facts, no emotion behind that either. That is literally just statement. Yeah, it's literally just anything to get a little bit of internet fame. It really is just cringe nowadays. As soon as someone will see a bit of internet drama, they'll instantly latch on to just really get themselves involved in it, just to kind of be a person that's actually involved in this drama. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, so later on we do actually get a casual kind of Cantu response. He's really just nothing special anymore. His whole response, they're not factual, they're nothing important. It's just him chatting shit. He literally just calls Dream a pedophile, and Dream just responds with pure, you know, just annihilation again. I am honestly taking side with Dream here just because of the way that he's dealing with it. I understand that there's one thing that is a little bit concerning about how the guy might have been drunk and how he was underage drinking. I mean, in the US, he's underage drinking. But to be honest, I think it shouldn't really be something that's truly acknowledged here, especially with the main event that Cantu's really brought up. But yeah, let's just get into Dream's kind of response here. So Dreamer said, you're applying to a fake account, which he was at the time, which is just hilarious. I'm not a pedophile, no matter how much you joke, but you are a shitty, terrible human. You physically assaulted me, said the N-word and other slurs, verbally berated an Uber driver saying, that's why I'm a famous movie star and you're an Uber driver, and they were just trying to help you not get arrested. Calling them the R-slur and saying your IQ is among geniuses and making racist remarks towards them. Yeah, I mean, he's just kind of summarizing what's happened that night. I mean, you know, Cantu, it's not looking good for you, man. You really got to get a lawyer out here. You got to sort something out to really make sure that you don't, you know, lose everything that you have. Anyway, let's keep on going. Then you apologize in Twitter DMs to me because you were drunk and high. You should never treat anyone like that, regardless of circumstances. Crazy how the voice actor from Dora the Explorer, Gumball, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is being racist and replying to fake Dream accounts in his free time. Photo in case he deletes, and then he just referenced the tweet. Yeah, so overall, he's just a little bit of a strange guy, really. I've just put like the text up on the screen. If you guys want to go through them, please feel free to. He's apologized. which is good. It's fair enough. He's acknowledged that his actions were wrong. It doesn't change what he said, but I think what he said here is definitely, it's valuable. You know, it's important to acknowledge. And you know, if Dream's gonna go out there and say, nah, fuck this guy, then, you know, he's just completely ignoring the apology there. I think apologies are definitely something that's very important, especially if it's actually meaningful. What he said there, in his own little Cantu way, it did seem like he wanted to actually apologize and he didn't want any kind of issues, which I think is honestly quite good. He's handled with that really well. But things that he's kind of brought up before just aren't great. I think it's definitely important for Cantu to acknowledge that going out is definitely not a good thing for him. Going out, partying, drinking, getting high is definitely not something that's going to work out well for him. To be honest, it doesn't work out well for anyone. So if you're drinking and smoking, I think it's time that you quit. You can take full control over your life. I believe in you. You can do amazing. You will be able to achieve brilliant things when you don't let poor substances take control of your life. I think it's time that you really do start taking control of your life and you start being you again. Anyway, yeah, bit of a monologue there, but it's all good. Overall, this situation is honestly ridiculous. It is literally like two school kids kind of fighting and then they get sent to the principal's office and get told to sit down, apologize to each other. You need to sort it out. Obviously, it's on a bit of a larger scale with Cantu saying some pretty terrible stuff and also assaulting people, which isn't great. But yeah, overall, situation is pretty absurd. There will definitely be more to follow up on this, but yeah, overall, I think that kind of sums it all up for now. That was a big mouthful of internet drama to go through. Yeah, that's about it. See you guys in a bit.